I wanted to help people developing their wealth or approaching retirement to have a comfortable life beyond wealth. In other words, to take the financial worry away from their day-to-day stress. So that's why. And I think there's a real need for that in this country. And I think there are financial advisors who have advised their clients very poorly. One of the biggest things is that their clients don't take on enough risk. And the reason for that, of course, financial advisors are not asset managers, and they don't understand risk the way that asset managers understand it. We're an asset management company, and we also provide financial advice. So it's a perfect opportunity, it's a perfect solution for clients to get the best investment returns combined with the best advice. So that's why we did it. We really want to help people. And besides health, financial wealth is probably the most important consideration in somebody's well-being. It's vital to take risk in order to achieve decent investment return. It's the single biggest problem that retirees have in this country, is that they didn't take on enough risk during their years of saving and investment. The view we're talking about is the long-term view for the market, the structural shifts, the changes globally as well as locally, and the investment opportunities that are created with that short-term cyclical and longer-term view. So it's a view on the markets, it's a view on the economy, but it's also the view on changing regulations, the opportunities that are created for estate planning, estate structuring, because it's not just making good investments for our clients, it's putting those investments in the right structures for our clients so that we can avoid paying excessive taxes. No use generating 10% returns for clients if 20 or 30% of that has to be paid off unnecessarily in taxes. Of course, tax avoidance is a legal thing, tax evasion is not. So it's all about structuring estates effectively, efficiently for our clients. I am immensely proud of what we've achieved. 25 years is quite a long time. It's a quarter of a century. We've been in Grayton that whole period of time. It started off in Grayton, but now we've got offices around the country: Pretoria, Somerset West, Cape Town, Hermanus, and where we want to carry on growing. I think the testimony to our success is that we've got a wonderful staff and very low staff turnover, and very happy clients, and very low clients turnover as well, which is the real testimony of our success. So the reason we've grown is because our clients want us to. We started off as asset managers, and we now provide financial advice, risk products, estate planning, and all these other things. And you may well ask, why do you do all those things? It's because our clients want those services. That's how we have grown organically. I've got quite a varied interest. So hiking, cycling, mountain biking, croquet. I've been the chairman of the Grayton Country Croquet Club for the last 7 years. And then also fishing as well. So in 2001, we were living in Cape Town, and my family and I, my wife and 2 young sons, decided we wanted to move to Grayton. We already had the internet and cell phone communications. We love the countryside, but it also makes perfect sense actually to have a asset management company here. It's low stress, very low commuting times, takes me 5 minutes to cycle to work. And we've got an enormously responsible job managing the well-being of our clients through their financial wealth and peace of mind. And a low-stress environment and a healthy environment is the perfect place to do that. But also, Grayton is a small village, and one of our key tenets is trust. We aim to be the most trusted wealth manager in the country, and there's no better place to be trusted than a small village. The reason I say that is it's a small community, and if people don't trust you, you'll be found out pretty quickly. There's nowhere to hide in a small community. It brings out the best from that perspective. We've been here 25 years, and it's been wonderful for us, for Overberg Asset Management, and for our clients.
It was about end of 2013, came back to South Africa after about 10 years in London. Always knew I wanted to be back in South Africa. And at that time, we came back, met Nick through an acquaintance, made the introduction, drove through to Grayton. I think probably maybe only the second time in my life that I've been to Grayton. So a very lovely drive out to Grayton, met up with Nick, and I think we instantly knew that there was a connection and that we had mutual respect for each other. And I could see what Nick wanted to do with the company, and I knew I could contribute to that. And I think the initial conversation, I think as I said, we had good chemistry. We knew we could do something together. I think the thought of settling in Grayton, even though it's a beautiful town, I think that change was almost just inconceivable. At that time, I was living in Hermanus and just enjoying being close to the ocean. After a few conversations, Nick said, but why don't we just open an office in Hermanus? At that stage, we had a couple of clients in Hermanus. That was the light bulb moment. Hermanus is quite a wealthy town. There's lots of people that come to retire here, they bring their pension money here. It's a lot of opportunities for finding new clients. In those early years, my role was kind of finding new clients, but also trying to scale the business in terms of operational side, and also then getting involved with actually managing the portfolio. So my background, all my studies have always led to being an asset manager or portfolio manager. So I think for me coming to South Africa, starting with Nick, it was a real opportunity to further that in my career. Yeah, and that was 12 years ago. And yeah, I think when I started, we were only 4 people in the company. That really appealed to me, coming from a big institution like Barclays Bank, who had thousands of employees, and literally you just have to do your task. And the appeal of working for a smaller company is you get involved in everything. You get to make some of the decisions where the company is going. You really see the operational side of how things are done. So I think that really appealed to me, and I think still to this day, it's still something that is really rewarding over time as well. When I opened the office in Hermanus, I was by myself. As the company grew, there was a need for me to have some help. And Sean joined was 2020, and he was also introduced through an acquaintance. Sean's got a very similar background to me in terms of studies, so it was easy for me to relate to him. And then Tian joined about 2 years ago, so the office has definitely got a different dynamic. We have a coffee run most of the mornings, and our absolute favorite is the pastella nata at a little coffee shop. They're the best. We can't not have at least a couple of pastella natas a week. I'm an avid surfer. Looking at the waves, that is the view that matters to me. But if I can use it as an analogy in surfing, before I go out for a surf, I stand here in my living room and I have a look out there. And depending on the conditions out there, I know where I should go try and find waves. And I also know what equipment I need to take. So I think in a similar way, if you look at the financial markets, the soil coming in there, you can say that's similar to the macroeconomic conditions. You know what the macroeconomic conditions is like, but ultimately you still want to know what the markets are doing. So for me, that's sort of the wave. So the soil comes in, but when that soil hits the beach or the shore, that's really the conditions that I'm interested in when I go surfing. And all of this knowledge is built up over many years. I started surfing when I was 12, and that allows me to look at the ocean, look at the waves out there, look at the swell, and I know what surfboard I need to take. I know where I need to go, what beach I need to go find. And in a similar way, that experience in the markets over many years allows us to read those conditions, use the right instruments, and take the right investment decisions on behalf of our clients.